And next up, we've got Maksym Krupyshev, I hope I got that right, from CoinsPaid. He is the CEO of the world's leading cryptocurrency payment service in iGaming.
I will speak to you about the payments. I'm in crypto space for more than 8 years. And it sounds like forever. Honestly, when I started, it was only Bitcoin, and majority of the people I spoke to were thinking that I'm some crazy guy speaking about some weird MLM or the Ponzi scheme. But over the years, it became clear that I was pretty right in this. And I'm in the payments for more than 7 years. So I started the next year I learned about crypto. I started thinking how to use crypto in payments. And I'm proud to say that I would say we are quite successful in this. I'm originally from Ukraine. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of... Thank you very much, guys, for the support. Our hearts and souls are with Ukraine. Thank you very much for this separately. The co-founder of the CoinsPaid and CryptoProcessing.com. We are not based in Ukraine, but we have some employees there, of course, who we are evacuating as we can. So, in just few months ago, in January, we realized that we are the biggest processing provider in the world. In crypto, we process $1 billion a month. We started in 2019 and managed to grow over the BitPay and all the guys who were in the market for a longer time. The growth is around 15% a month, which makes this crazy numbers over the year. So the product is okay, the framework for the legal and financial is okay. And I'm here today to tell you what are the most important things if you are an entrepreneur who are thinking to start a crypto processing business, so the payments business, so the fintech, actually, or if you run an online business and you would like to start accepting cryptocurrencies, what are the main things? We don't have a lot of time, so of course I will not go very deep into the details how to do this. So basically, everyone who is starting the business or starting to accept cryptocurrencies in existing online business, you will face the choice. Either to develop everything on your own, spin the nodes and so on, or select the provider. We all here speak about adoption, and pretty much every speaker on the stage speaks about adoption, and I think all of us who are in crypto space, we understand that the success of the industry and basically success of our businesses depend on how many people in the world know about crypto. If I ask each of you why crypto was invented and what was the idea of crypto, each of you will give me a completely different answer because there is no clear definition why and what. So, for example, a small experiment, very quickly. In the last 7 days, who of you sent any crypto transaction? Okay, we have approximately 15-20 people. Okay, who used for sending the transaction an exchange or a hosted wallet where you log in with an email or the password? So pretty much the same hands, right? So everybody who speaks about crypto says, oh, crypto is, is where you don't need a custodian, you don't need a provider, you can hold it on your own. And the whole DeFi is built around this. I agree that it is true, but the adoption doesn't go that way, especially when we speak about businesses. For example, online business who sells something online, they will not be spinning the nodes. They don't even think about this, so they will be using centralized solution. So we are here speaking about this. So you have the hard way, start building everything on your own, the investment is huge, the time to the market is relatively big. I would say to develop a pretty much working solution will be a few $1 million. If you are about to do something completely great, you are going over the 10 million euros to develop a really good system which can scale and which you can use on the bigger scale. So speaking about the solutions, I will give you an example. We process 1.5 million transactions a month. And we understand that the amount of work that you have to put in the system to make it secure, scalable, and basically deliver transactions within seconds, it's a lot of work and a lot of expertise. And also the nodes, they have a lot of challenges in this. I mean, the servers that you can find for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for the Binance Smart Chain, they don't work how you want just out of the box. So, let's speak as we are in the UAE. I will give you just few logical and common things and rules which are applicable pretty much everywhere. right? So if you are here and you're running a business here, if you want to start a business or you have a business and you want a provider, basically I don't recommend you to start developing this on your own. Basically this is extremely hard and it looks much easier from outside than it in reality is. If you are, as an entrepreneur here, willing to accept crypto as a payment method, here it is completely free. You don't have to pay the tax to the government. If you are the business, then you will have to select the one licensed here. We are thinking to apply for a license here, but you have to be selecting one who has it. Right now, to my knowledge, no one really has it, so the one who has the first license for payments in Abu Dhabi or here in Dubai, I think will be relatively successful in grabbing sort of the huge amount of big businesses here in the Middle East. So yeah, if you are the business, you will have to pay your income tax as usual. Again, so what are the main things that is important in this business? So I would say the main are two. You need a good product and the team who supports and extends the product, and you need the legal and regulatory framework. So all the financial businesses, and I can tell you those of you who say, oh, crypto is not financial and regulators don't influence us in any way, don't run a big business. Because the moment you start big, you can see at the Uniswap, for example, they are contacted by the regulators already quite often to basically understand how they work. So you have to obey, or at least think about and consult with the professionals how to do the AML, KYC, and how to trace CFT, so counter-financing of terrorism. It's very important because the moment you start working with the millions of dollars, all the banks, all the payment providers and regulators will be asking you the same questions. Those of you who are in the payment space or in the business or in the banking space, you know all these things. This is pretty much obvious in the whole world. So the licenses, of course, this is more of a process. This is always important to make sure that you have a regulator who supports you, because only with the support of the regulator you are able to go to the financial institutions and get any sort of the accounts to bridge crypto and fiat. So I believe that crypto isolated businesses, they sort of have a limit where to grow. Data protection is something obvious, I don't want to speak about this a lot, and risk scoring. That is something which is not obvious. I was speaking a few times in the Europol, this is basically the center of the police of European Union, and they have a yearly event where all the FBI guys, all the executors and the big representatives of the crypto business basically discuss how they trace the black money, how they close the ransomware, the malware, the trafficking of the drugs over US, over Europe and so on. And basically they are using plenty of the software, such as Elliptic, such as Crystal, Chain Analysis, Neutrino, which was bought by Coinbase, basically plenty of them. So as a business working with crypto, you need to do the homework. You always need to make sure that every single transaction that you receive on behalf of your client and whatever, or you send, you check what is the source of money. Because the moment you ignore something and it becomes the system, this is only a matter of time when somebody from the US will write you a message. Hey guys, there is this situation, we see that your cluster is massively receiving money from this source. Why didn't you inform the authority, and what are you doing about this? And if this is, for example, a police from Russia, you can ignore the message completely because they are not in any group of this execution of the crimes. But if you receive a message from US, you're pretty much done. I mean, if you don't reply it, you are done. If you reply it wrong, you are done. So these things you need to always have already a ready answer for such things. So if you see that you did something bad, you have to report it immediately and have the number of the papers that you did it. The guys who were speaking on the stage before me from IME, they said that the competitors are not there. The Chatex was the Russian project who was the wallet in the Telegram. They were relatively successful dealing with tens of dollars. The partner of them were basically laundering money through their software from the ransomware. They were closed completely, all the assets were frozen, And they are now dealing with the US authorities in the court, spending another millions of dollars. They were like, whoa, we don't do any business, we don't exchange into fiat, we are just a wallet in the Telegram. So this is not a joke, you always have to care about this. I know it sounds scary, but this is how reality is. Yeah, basically, if you were speaking about the licenses here, all the CFT and AML, they apply all around the world, so don't expect here anything completely new. There are a few main ways to where to get the license, right? I would say this would be an ADGM here, right? Or in, ADGM in Abu Dhabi, or here with the Central Bank of UAE. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not ready to give you the consultation how to get these licenses, but I'm sure you know those who have. Speaking about the launching of an assets, I know all of you heard about ICOs in the past. Now it was IDEOs, I think it was something in between, IEOs, and exchange offerings. So if you're launching the token, we were launching one, mostly as an experiment to receive the experience how to launch the token. We made a lot of the mistakes. So the main things is to make sure you have legal opinions up front from all the jurisdictions where you might need them. Make sure you have all the risk disclosures that sort of shielding your existing business from the token. Make sure you do the KYC on the buyers. The guys with whom we were doing the IDO, they said, oh, it's decentralized offering, why do you need the KYC? Guys, you need the KYC because the people who give you legal opinions, they will ask pretty concrete questions from whom exactly you accepted how much money to give you a good legal opinion. And then for the listings on centralized exchanges, they will be asking where you got legal opinions and basically be evaluating you how good you did your homework. So this is all very important if you just don't want to raise money and disappear. If you are about that, then you can ignore all of this. It's not important. Yeah, and basically the best idea is to set up the foundation, so the separate legal entity for the token, to basically again shield your existing business or the fintech or the licensed entity from the token issuance, because this is a gray zone. So issuance of the token in the majority of the countries around the world is pretty much gray zone. You cannot have someone who says this is completely legal, everything is clear, and so on. This is always a bit shady. So summary and the useful tips. If you are dealing with cryptocurrency, and especially you are exchanging cryptocurrency to fiat, or you're working with cryptocurrency on the bigger scale, you have to do the KYC all the time. You need to know who is the client, and you have to make sure that you always control where the money are floating from and where you're sending the money to. For those of you who are deeper in the space, you heard about the travel rule, which is implemented already in all the financial institutions except of crypto, because this is unclear how to do it in crypto. But the regulator is going that direction. There was a voting in the MiCA, basically European creator of the laws, and they were hearing about new crypto regulation for Europe yesterday, and all the clever guys from the central banks and so on say, guys, we have to somehow make sure that it is like that. So if US and the European Union have the similar law, you can expect it will be everywhere pretty much similar, right? Because you cannot expect that all jurisdictions, they think about how to draft all these laws from scratch. Our team, for example, for compliance and monitoring of the transaction is 12 people. Together we have 150, and 12 of them are compliance and legal. So basically you can expect that in this business approximately 9% of your team should be compliance people. If you are promoting for the whole world, and if you speak with the serious clients, with institutional clients, they will be asking you about your approach to security, about your security audits, how you store funds, and so on. And if you are in this space, every year you will have a financial audit, and the auditors will be asking you the same questions. Prove that you have this money, prove how you deal with them, and so on. Of course, many startups, they don't think about this, right? But when you grow, if you hit the business model and you start scaling, then you have a lot of headaches how to scale, and the mistakes which you do in the beginning, they just start being bigger problems. The time is up, so licenses, I already spoke. Yeah, so you can scan the QR, it has all the contacts. We have a booth on the other side. It's yellow, which is unusual here because majority of the things are blue. So it would be easy to find us. If you want to speak with me, I will be standing here ready to speak with everyone. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry for taking a few more minutes extra. I think it was because we were looking for this. Thank you very much, everyone.